Joe Owen's book, The Mindset of Success, Accelerate Your Career from Good Manager to Great Leader, is about reaching your full potential as a leader, irrespective of your position in an organization. It portrays the mindset of a leader in a way that is relevant to any entry-level employee to a seasoned manager of high-up organizations. It does so by breaking mindset into 8 core concepts, all of which are beneficial to individuals regardless of their demographic and position. He bases it off 17 years of research. The 8 key concepts being known as aspiration, courage, resilience, positivity, accountability, collaborative mindset, growth, and the dark side. All are incredibly important to those wanting to practice a managerial mindset, as they cover a range of characteristics and challenges faced by leaders. Mindset is important as it has a direct influence on the ability to achieve goals. Leaders need to be selfless and possess the right skills, but in this day and age they often don't for 2 reasons. The first being illusory superiority, the cognitive bias that one person's skills exceeds the rest of the others. A study in the 1990s found that 32% of employees of a software company believed their skills to exceed 19 out of 20 of their colleagues. Now this is simply impossible. The second reason is that many leadership programs are seen as ineffective. A Braden Hall Group research study found that out of 329 organisations surveyed, 75% deemed their leadership program to be ineffective. When combined, the resources aren't there to help improve mindset, and so books like these are incredibly important as they help promote a positive mindset and strategic ways that can be implemented to improve that, thus creating more effective leaders. Owen's idea of accountability is taking responsibility for mistakes and sharing the awards of success. It'd be my top takeaway from the book, is the concept often missing in the workplace and within organisations. The mindset of many is to appear flawless, throw away the blame and soak up the glory. Accountability is the opposite, and thus is the top idea. There are 4 considerations when taking into account accountability. Celebrate success, face the brutal truth, learn from it, learn from others, and avoid judgment extremes. Although we already understand accountability, it's a hard concept to implement due to the illusory superiority I mentioned before. It's a simple concept, but yet challenges the ingrained sense of that superiority, and thus is often absent. Owen's idea of accountability ensures that you respect others for taking responsibility for good or bad events. In doing so, it encourages growth, learning from mistakes, and allows for a more productive workplace. Teamwork is essential for achieving collective goals, and thus collaboration is an imperative mindset within leaders. Owen believes, as opposed to competing or trying to be solely liked by colleagues, you need to find a middle ground to be trusted and respected. Once again, Owen breaks down how to get to this phase in 4 steps. The first, build your influence across the organisation, then build your team, maintain and grow your team, and then be a partner, not a child. Once again, just like accountability, the idea of collaboration isn't new, but it challenges our instincts as an individual to either outperform or socialise with our peers. We often look at others and try to better them, but there is a middle ground that I mentioned earlier. By working together, collective goals can be achieved, drawing on the strengths of a collective group of people and allowing the goals of an organisation to be achieved. Owen stated it best at the start of the chapter. As a team, the number of hours is limited only by the size of our team. If we succeed, we cannot do so alone because we cannot work more than 24 hours in a day. If we are to succeed, we have to succeed through others. Leaders often need to have a hard edge, especially regarding their goals, team performance, and budget. Doing so ensures a successful fulfillment of these important business functions. Chasing the right goal allows a hard edge to follow, with a clear objective your team can commit to increasing performance. Ruthlessness is essential by all means, but leaders need to be prepared to argue their case. Owen stated, the difference between a hard-edged leader and a sociopath is omission. The idea of ruthlessness is a clear challenge, as many individuals like to coast, something I've experienced in my own workplace. However, it is essential to ensure the achievement and goals and successful management. My first and biggest critique of Owen is that leadership is a journey. Owen believes leadership is a never-ending journey because you can never reach perfection. But this idea is problematic, as leadership isn't about the journey, but rather promoting success and creating a healthy environment in the workplace. While the journey is important by all means, in the sense it's how individuals grow into better leaders, it's ultimately not what leadership is about. A possible way to revise this concept could be leadership is about others. This improves on the concept as it still retains the original message that leadership is an area of constant growth, which is true. However, it also adds that people don't become and continue to be leaders for their own good. Well, good leaders don't anyway. Leadership is an area of selflessness. It's about being involved in something more important than an individual person and ensuring its success. People lead to instill a culture of success and create an environment people want to engage with. By completing the first two, optimistic goals can be achieved, ensuring the prosperity of an organisation. My second critique of Owen will be labelling ruthlessness as the dark side. While ruthlessness is an attribute that can become troublesome, it is not an indication of the dark side. It is often necessary under changes of leadership or when goals shift. While it undoubtedly shouldn't be the foundation of a leadership position, it is an important function of a leader. Decisions within organisations aren't always easy, and hard decisions contain an element of ruthlessness, thus making it essential. Martin Bell's piece from the Bosnian War in 1996 rings true regarding ruthlessness. While the implications of the decision were not obvious beforehand, the lack of ruthlessness in the situation led to the undue loss of life. Admittedly, this example is an exaggeration of traditional practices within organisations, but the principle can still be drawn across. An employee adopting unsafe work practices puts others in danger. Likewise, an employee who's not overly productive takes a detriment from achieving the goal. Ruthlessness would significantly benefit organisations in either of these instances, and thus shouldn't be labelled as the dark side, as they are healthy practices. I'd like to finish on 3 simple, practical pieces of advice to take away from Owen's book. The first, leadership is about context, and this idea rang extremely true. Mother Teresa couldn't lead the Mongol army, whereas Genghis Khan couldn't work in the slums of Calcutta. Establish the context that you'll lead in and find out what works best for you. Second, the growth mindset is vital. All experiences will shape you as a leader. Make the most of them and don't be afraid to change. The final takeaway is, if leadership is about taking people to where they wouldn't get to by themselves, then start early. It's about what you do, not your title. Thank you.